From Rixie, this is the Daily Rec. I'm Jen Ray, co-host of Rixie's new dance and film podcast, Frameform. My music recommendation today is Moby. My love of Moby's music was recently reignited when his song In This World was used in the final montage for the film Bad Education. Great movie with Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney, but that is not the topic of today's rec. So some quick background on Moby. This is a bio that I found on the website where a book that he co-edited lives, so here goes. Moby has been making music since he was 9 years old. He started out studying classical music and music theory, and then went on to play with the seminal Connecticut hardcore punk group, the Vatican Commandos, when he was 13. After leaving college and becoming a fixture as a DJ in the New York house scene, Moby released his first single in 1990 and has since sold 20 million albums. He is the co-editor with Myung Park of Gristle, From Factory Farms to Food Safety, Thinking Twice About the Meat We Eat. So, in my words, I would say Moby was a pre-social media influencer. He was credited as one of the main artists who brought electronic dance music to the mainstream, particularly in the US and the UK in the 1990s. So, as a general nerd, I really love when music involves sampling and electronic music in general. But Moby's music definitely uses samples and has different textures, and I just love what a journey I go on when I listen to his music. I do feel a little weird about the song Flower on the album Play, which is one of his most popular albums. It samples an old slave song, so I don't really feel comfortable jamming out to that, but aside from that, I haven't found anything problematic with his music. Moby is truly an artist who has evolved over the years and whose career has included activism in addition to awesome variations of musical mastery. In 1997, he recorded Animal Rights, a punk record with real live vocals and instruments, but no one cared. In his words, "No one else seemed to like that record, but I love it. There's a creative artistic satisfaction that comes with making something you really care about even though no one else likes it." I can really appreciate this because the concept of quote-unquote selling out is big in the arts in general, but I would especially say in music and even more so with punk. While Moby's been commercially successful, his music has remained great and his activism has been apparently more important than being famous or relevant, so I can appreciate that. I found this great quote speaking of music licensing because I heard his song recently in a movie, and apparently a lot of his music has been used in movies. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Born Identity is another example, but I'm sure that there's many examples where you maybe would have seen a movie with Moby's music. This is a quote from AmericanSongwriter.com I found that I really liked as well. So he says, "There are lots of different ways to work on music and get it out into the real world. The licensing is a happy bonus. I've never once written a piece of music and thought to myself, I hope this gets licensed somewhere. The music itself is very precious. The marketing of the music is not precious at all. I see licensing as a marketing tool. The music is very sacred to me, but you can't control it once it's released." So I thought that was a very interesting quote that would probably be up for debate in a few different circles, and I just thought it was an interesting point of conversation. Moby's music is very moody and cinematic. It's more like sonic poetry than a narrative, which I find easier to get lost in. My favorite time to listen to Moby is definitely while I'm editing videos or in the dance studio or when I just want to move in general. Just some personal context for my first exposure. I remember one of my dance teachers, Miss Sonia, playing Porcelain in her classes and just thinking that it sounded like there was a whale in the studio with that sound that's in there repeatedly. And I just really enjoy using Moby's music in my classes now. And none of my students know who he is or what they're listening to, but it works and they love to move to it. So thank you, Miss Sonia. I also really got more into Moby because I was blessed with two older brothers who curated our music venues, whether I liked it or not. So thank you as well to Matt and Mitch. So if you are ever in LA, I recommend trying his restaurant Little Pine in Silver Lake. It's a fully plant-based menu, and when I was there, I also bought the book that I mentioned earlier, Gristle, From Factory Farms to Food Safety, Thinking Twice About the Meat We Eat. Maybe the next time you're driving to pick up a plant-based meal and you want something excellent to listen to, you could consider Moby. You'll feel like the star of your own movie. If you want to check out Moby, the links are in the show notes. This has been your Daily Rec. See you tomorrow.